lovers, that's 20 goons in the ice cream.
Okay, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL leads us to a snow-covered Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go. Ready, set. 55. Check, 55, Mike. We're pretty quiet, team. We're pretty quiet.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, Jacobs. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Ready, break. And check. Mike 50, Mike 50. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. The end result, 21 yards.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. From the gun, Franks. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
To throw on 2nd down. Franks. He completes it to Jones. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Final week of the year, an absolute must-win game for them, so they needed to get on the board first. They were able to do just that.
And you laid out the stakes. So just think what they've been working with this entire build-up towards this game. Must win. You've got to get on the board first. They accomplished that. Now they can't have any type of a letdown. Long way to go in this one.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line.
Ready, set, mark. Check, 59. Ready? Protein spill. Check hot route. Hot. Watch twist. Check your hot read. Hey,
they'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. He finds an opening past the 40. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line.
Let's go.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Ready? 15 line. 15 line.
59. So we got man.
Check that.
On second down now. Foreman, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 24-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and then hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down first and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still early. Don't get crazy because you gave one up.
And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Those INTs all sting, but you throw one in the red zone, I think especially as a rookie, maybe it stings a little bit more.
I think what you're saying is they don't all count the same, do they? Right? Interceptions in the red zone that you've given up points now, those are precious. So you have to learn from those and in a hurry.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Franks. He'll take a shot for the end zone. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it, couldn't get it. And it's second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. They run it with Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Off the play fake. Franks going for the deep ball. That's caught inside the 20. A big play that time for the Raiders. 45 yards.
That's the end of the first quarter.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun. Franks to the goal line, but it's incomplete. It was Minkah Fitzpatrick that time to break that one up.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And he's going to come up well shy of the 1st here as the tackle's made right around the 12. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, not a big gain with that play, but what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
So we would have figured that one to be 3 points in the bank, but this game, can be unpredictable at times.
Yeah, he knew he needed to pull it ever so slightly to get it going in the right direction, but he seemed to put a little too much on it, and from short range, that is a bad miss for an NFL kicker.
Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A carry for Foreman. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down.
Watch the run, watch the run. Check 3, check 3.
General West. Hey, high 7.
51's the mic. Let's put him up.
You're out.
Let's put that team on the bus.
From the gun, Lawrence. But it's brought in by Washington. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A Steeler 1st down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I will hear about that from him soon.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. 2nd interception for him now here in this 1st half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Franks. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Try to run for it with Jacobs. But he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
10-2, son. Check back. Check back.
Off play action. Franks nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bud Dupree in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Operating from the gun, Franks. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
The one with the dime look that time on defense just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And Zerline's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Washington's got it. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Lawrence. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. To throw on second down, Lawrence. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it, and his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A big play there. 77 yards. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
You said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach David? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Maurice Hurst able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. And the catch made by Johnson. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Back to throw. Lawrence setting up the screen. This is Samuels. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or do they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Well, they still have time to get them established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hey, Charlie.
51, Mike 51. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Big grip.
From the gun, Lawrence. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference. Meet it head on and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
Here we go. 60 out block. Breathe. Don't let him breathe. Play on the ball. Hot.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll run it with Jacobs. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Ready to break.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start? And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15. Call it a 3-yard gain, but they'll be forced into a 3rd and 15 coming up.
They can't hang with us.
Operating from the gun, Lawrence going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. Now this throw caught left side, and inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. This quarterback now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's first and 10. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the gun, Lawrence. And his throw is going to be incomplete. James Washington was the intended target, and now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Hey, Mike 20, Mike 20. It's a party now. It's a party now.
Hey, Echo.
Hey, we got Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 20. Quit talking about it and bring it. Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 20. It's a party now.
Ready?
Throwing on 3rd and long. Lawrence. And that is incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that'll get this back down to a 20-point spread. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun, Franks. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Off the play fake, Franks. It's caught, Jones. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. That one good for 24 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. A loss of 2 there, second down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Well, pass there, complete to Westbrook. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll make it second and short. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 1. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Bud Dupree, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. The Raiders on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, Franks. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Go now.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They run again with Foreman. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays.
And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 19. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Zerline good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Push him back.
Throwing after the interception. Lawrence. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make this a second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. Trying to get the first with Samuels. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Looking to throw. Lawrence. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Well, CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
That really sets him back. A loss of 6. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Johnson, the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
No!
Motion. Hey, check motion, man.
Get it.
To throw again, Lawrence. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Hey, lock it. Come. Hey, foxtrot. Say go.
Throwing on 1st down. Lawrence. He gets this one to Johnson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Hey, Haywood.
Hey, Mike 20. Here we go, G.
Ready?
Operating from the gun. Lawrence. Flushed out right. He's going to let it fly. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And the lead is down to 20. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25.
On the ready.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. A nice run on first down gets him 6 yards to the 31. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. From the gun, Franks. And that will be incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is brought in at the 21. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
On the set.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 35. The 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. That means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. It's in the 4th quarter down in Miami, and it's the Dolphins that wound up winning that one. Another victory perhaps in the cards. They're looking as good as anybody as the playoffs draw near. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Ready.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Hey.
Operating from the gun, Lawrence. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Lawrence. Escaping the pressure right. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. Extra point now by Boswell. And the lead is down to 20. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders, and they were buoyed that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus. and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better, and that got it done in this one.
So for the Raiders, it's an 11th win of the year as they'll finish the regular season at 11-5. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, it'll be a 10-loss season as they wrap up 6-10. And I think you have to say, ultimately, this was a team that really underachieved. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.